Want to save thousands in taxes every year?
Doesn't everybody want to save thousands in taxes each year?
I would assume so, but most investors are overpaying the IRS, and it's because of what they're holding in their taxable investment account. If you have bonds, target date funds, or mutual funds, you might be triggering a surprise tax bill that's draining your growth. Every dollar you send unnecessarily to the IRS is a dollar you will never get back. Today, we're talking about ETFs, municipal bonds, and growth companies, strategies that will help keep your money compounding for your future. And if you want personalized help reducing your tax burden, there's a link in the description below to schedule a free consultation with us. We'll teach you how smart investors save thousands on taxes and how you can get in front of your tax bill before tax season next year. Hi, I'm Erin of Truly Aligned.
And I'm Maximilian of Truly Aligned.
So when we meet with people for the first time, they often come to us and say, "Why am I paying taxes? I didn't even sell anything in my investment accounts." Max, what's happening?
So what's typically happening is for your taxable brokerage account, also referred to as a non-qualified or just brokerage account, this is different than a retirement account like your 401k or IRA. You have taxes that are associated with this account each year. And a huge part that we've noticed, Aaron, is corporate bonds, being invested in bonds. So a corporate bond is a loan that you give a company, and in turn you receive interest. The interest that you receive is fully taxable to ordinary income taxes, the same way your salary is taxed. So if you're in a high tax bracket, like a lot of our clients, 30 to 40% of the money that you receive from these corporate bonds as interest payments are fully taxable. So you don't get to defer this. You don't get to choose a timing on it. The IRS takes their cut every single year.
But Max, it's important to hold bonds. So what can we do instead?
Municipal bonds. So municipal bonds, also referred to as muni bonds. These are when you're giving a state or local government a loan and in turn receiving interest. For these bonds, the vast majority of time, they are tax-free from a federal standpoint. And if you purchase the bond in the state that you're living in, it's also tax-free from state income tax standpoint. So for this scenario, you end up getting so much more in your pocket each year because you're not losing that 30 to 40% to taxes. One of the things to be aware of for municipal bonds is they typically have about a 1% rate lower than what a corporate bond would offer for interest. And the reason behind that is state governments are less likely to default in comparison to companies, and they get the tax advantages. So a lot of investors seek that, and there's a higher demand. So this can be a
Mm.
great option. Instead of purchasing corporate bonds within your taxable brokerage account, look at municipal bonds.
Another type of investment that a lot of investors will hold in their taxable brokerage account is called a mutual fund. It's very convenient. There's one ticker symbol, and someone professional does the trades for you. And so a lot of investors can start out with this type of fund. It's an investment vehicle that pools many investors' money to purchase stocks, bonds, and other investments. And like I mentioned, there is a manager who is making those purchases and sales of the investments within the fund. Now, what happens here is that during the purchasing and the selling of those investments, it can trigger capital gains. Additionally, if there's any dividends that are being paid out from the fund, you're paying taxes on those as well. So you're getting the capital gains tax, you're getting dividend taxes, and you're not even in control of what's being purchased and sold within this account. And so when you get that tax bill, it's called phantom taxes because you're not in control. Someone else is managing the fund, and you're paying taxes at the end of the day on that account.
Another thing to be aware of regarding mutual funds is the expense ratio. Expense ratios have a tendency to be higher for this investment because of the convenience of it. So, what's the solution here, Aaron, as far as instead of purchasing mutual funds?
So there's something called an ETF, which is an exchange traded fund. This is an investment fund that trades on an exchange similar to a stock. It gives you access to a diversified basket of assets, and it typically has lower costs and much greater tax efficiency than mutual funds. ETFs are designed to be tax efficient. They rarely pass along capital gains distributions because of the way that they're traded internally, which means that you're only paying taxes when you decide to sell the fund. not just when the fund manager does. The benefit of this is that you control when the taxes happen. There's no surprise 1099s, there's no phantom gains. It's just clean and efficient growth.
The other error that we often see people make that are self-managing their assets is target date accounts. So the number one way in which somebody's invested in their 401k in the United States is a target date account, meaning it'll say Vanguard 2035. What that means is that's the year that they plan to retire. And this account, based off an algorithm, automatically updates the allocation, selling more stocks and purchasing more bonds as you get closer to that date. This is an extremely convenient account and it's automated and it's easy. Problem with the target date account is that when you're in that taxable brokerage account, it's sending out unnecessary capital gains each year. And you're also having to pay taxes on the dividends from the bonds. When the fund rebalances, which you have no control of that, you're getting taxed every single year along the way. So instead of your money compounding over time, you're forced every single year as the fund adjusts to pay taxes, and it becomes a less efficient vehicle for your savings. Now, instead of your money compounding without interference, you're forced to pay taxes every year that the fund adjusts and the allocations are changed, making this account a lot less efficient.
So, Max, what can we do instead of using a target date or lifetime fund?
A diversified portfolio and a diversified portfolio that has a little bit more of a tilt towards growth companies. So at Truly Align, we believe in diversification in order to not have all of your eggs in one basket. Now, when it comes to growth companies, Aaron, these are companies like NVIDIA, where they're putting a lot of their profits back into the business to help it grow. So in turn, they're not giving you a dividend. Now, a dividend would be like Coca-Cola that has a famous dividend in which when you own a share or stock of Coca-Cola, you get paid out a dividend each year, which is fully taxable. So what can be helpful is to be more focused on growth companies that are compounding and growing without paying out big dividends. In turn, you're not leaking a lot of money out each year to taxes, and you have full control. You can decide if you want to sell and keep all of your capital gains. You're not having any big tax surprises for the strategy, and it gives you a lot more flexibility as far as your overall plan goes.
Dividend stocks are valuable to hold, and we would recommend holding those in a qualified account like your retirement, IRA, or 401k so that you can avoid those annual taxes on those, but still continue growing that money.
Or another great option if you're in retirement, dividend stocks can be great to help cover your expenses as far as retirement needs go. If you're in the accumulation phase of your career, a lot of times more of a tilt towards growth stock can be a phenomenal option. So here's the bottom line. If you want to stop paying the IRS so much money in taxes, look at municipal bonds instead of corporate bonds. Look at ETFs instead of having in a mutual funds. And most importantly, making sure your portfolio is diversified and avoid target date accounts at all times in your taxable brokerage account. These strategies can save you thousands in taxes each year. Don't let another tax season pass you by when you can make proactive changes now. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe as it really helps our channel grow. And if you're ready to take control of your tax situation, in the link in the description below, book a free consultation with us. Until the next time,
Stay aligned.